Get outside, guys. Get outside.
An off-campus fire drives students away from their homes.
The Cavs came to Columbus.
And one OSU student is about to win big money.
That's all right here on Buckeye News Now.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Ritika Shah.
And I'm Ariana Bernard. You're watching Buckeye News Now.
After an off-campus fire sent 12 Ohio State students fleeing from their apartments last weekend, many are looking into alternative housing solutions. Lantern TV reporter Melissa Prax talked to these students about how they're coping and where they are now.
There was pounding on our back door, and then I knew something was up.
Erin Kitchen said she went to bed early Saturday with plans to run the Columbus Marathon in the morning. But around 3 a.m., she was woken up by knocking.
And you know, could faintly hear smoke alarms in the bottom apartment.
Kitchen said she then ran to her brother's room.
And he was still asleep and everything. So if they hadn't come and woken us up, we might have slept through it all.
Neighbor Seth Gilbert said he saw the apartment complex on fire.
He woke me up and I heard crackling, and then I opened the window and I saw fire in the window.
Now this house on Summit has been deemed unlivable, and you can still see and smell the last remnants of the fire from this pile of charcoal doors and chairs.
Whatever wasn't burnt is damage from smoke damage. My laptop somehow is okay.
Kitchen said after this week, her roommates and her will be moving into a Buckeye real estate apartment. The cause of the fire is still under investigation, according to the Columbus Division of Fire. Melissa Prax, Lantern TV.
A new way to control heart disease is being tested at Ohio State. A study led by researcher Dr. William Abraham of the Wexner Medical Center tested a new implantable device to control heart failure. The first trial was held to determine safety and effectiveness in patients and has shown promising results. This device wraps around the aorta and syncs with the patient's heartbeat. It inflates and deflates a small balloon to help circulate blood throughout the body. It is powered by an external tool that can be plugged in or operated by battery. 16 out of 20 patients in the study showed significant improvements while using the device.
As the midterm election inches closer, Ohio's gubernatorial debate comes to the forefront. But for the first time in more than 30 years, the Republican candidate wasn't there. Democratic candidate Ed Fitzgerald and Green Party candidate Anita Rios participated in the debate in Cleveland on Wednesday, but Governor John Kasich, who is running for re-election, declined to join them. Kasich's campaign is blaming the opposition, saying they couldn't compromise on a date for the debate and moved on. Kasich is currently the frontrunner in the election with a 57 to 35% lead against Fitzgerald, according to an October 1st Quinnipiac poll. Kasich's campaign said voters can hear from Kasich during a televised public forum scheduled for next week.
It looks like you might have to pay a little extra to ride the Kota next year. If Kota's board approves a new proposal, passengers could see an increase in all fares by an extra 50 cents, making the originally free Columbus Circulator line 50 cents, and local and express lines $2.25 and $3 for a one-way trip. Right now, Ohio State students are paying the university $13.50 per semester to ride the Kota. Will the hike in Kota's prices affect students directly?
I actually utilize the Kota a lot. I work in the Department of Social Change and we do a lot of volunteering, and our volunteers use the Kota to get all across Columbus. So I don't know if students will even notice the price difference, but I think that people who don't have a Buckeye ID will be negatively affected.
Honestly, I don't even think students know that it's part of our fees, so I don't think it's going to deter anybody.
Kota is also considering accepting new forms of payment in cell phones and credit cards to make riding the bus more convenient for passengers. For the full story on Kota fare raises, tune in to the Scarlet Scoop on Fridays for all things college.
Mirror Lake's ducks too fat to fly and gone for good.
And social media app Yik Yak takes over campus.
Stay with us.
OSU student Phuge Srivastava is competing for a $1 million prize in first place in the 43 North Business Plan competition. Phuge is one of 11 finalists out of more than 6,900 applicants, and his startup will receive a minimum of $250,000 in any case. Phuge plans to move his company, Geneticist LLC, to Buffalo, New York for at least all of 2015. The final pitches and prizes will be awarded next Thursday. Lantern TV sat down with Phuge to learn about his company and where he got his inspiration.
In 2006, my grandfather was diagnosed with a whole variety of conditions, cardiac rhythm disorders, neurodegenerative disorders. I was 10 years old at the time, so it was pretty innocent stripping very early on. And I remember the particular visit to the physician where he gave me a huge pamphlet of information filled with data and figures on his conditions. And at the very bottom it said, "There's no cure available." So very early on I was inspired to pursue ion channel disease research. We use individuals' ion profiles. This is just proprietary data that we collect, and we turn those ion profiles into predictive models for which drug is best suited for that individual, and more importantly, what is the impact of that drug.
Another Ohio State student is making waves overseas. Mohamed Soltan, a dual American-Egyptian citizen, graduated from the university in 2012 with a degree in economics. He was shot in the arm and arrested just over a year ago for participating in a Muslim Brotherhood protest in Cairo after a military coup overthrew former President Mohamed Morsi. Soltan continues to fight for his freedom from prison with a 250-day fast. Exactly 1 month ago, doctors told him he had less than a month to live. On Tuesday, a group of students and staff took the day to fast in solidarity with him as he finally went to trial in Egyptian court.
It concerns me that an American citizen is behind bars in another country. I think that should be an outrage, and I think that should be a priority in Obama's eyes, considering that Soltan wrote a letter to Obama. And you know, the way I see it is, if it could happen to him, it could happen to any one of us.
Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and now Yik Yak. Yik Yak is a new social media platform developed by former Furman University students Tyler Droll and Brooks Buffington. The app works a public forum by allowing users known as Yackers to read anonymous 200-character posts by others and then either up or downvoting them in a Reddit-like system. These posts are visible to Yackers within 2 to 10 miles depending on the density of the population. Yik Yak has been rising in popularity among college students lately, and Ohio State students are no stranger to its allure.
It's just something to scan through because it's always so new and fresh. I never have to scan through and the same old stuff, so it's nice. And no matter where you are on campus, it gets different based on because it goes by region. So if you're on all the way on South Campus, you're going to get a whole new outlook on what the news is of the day, which I like. I think Twitter is still the most relevant in my opinion. I think we're still gravitating away from Facebook just because we associate it with our parents, and it has to always be so business professional. But I wouldn't say Yik Yak is taking over. I think it's just a fun way to say stuff without getting in trouble because you can't get caught.
According to Yik Yak data, 24 to 30% of undergraduates at Ohio State are active users, meaning from 10,000 and up to more than 13,000 users in the OSU area are on Yik Yak.
Mirror Lake might be back to its original appearance after last year's sustainability study, but the ducks who used to call it home won't be returning. The Mirror Lake ducks were relocated to a farm while the lake remained drained, but will now stay there for good. According to wildlife experts, most of the ducks were bred for food and are genetically too heavy to fly elsewhere. The Mirror Lake ducks have built up a following at the university, however. A Twitter account under the handle Mirror Lake Ducks has 3,265 followers and continues to tweet despite their absence. The university says it has no plans to replace the ducks anytime soon.
It's been soggy and gray for the past week, but some sunshine might be in store for the weekend.
Meteorologist Russell Bird joins us now in for John Bangoff. Russell, it looks like typical fall temperatures are heading our way. What can we expect from Mother Nature this weekend?
Thanks, Ritika. We're already seeing it's a little bit chilly this morning, but where that sun's peeking on through, we're going to get all the way up to the mid-60s today for the high. It's going to start being real nice this weekend. If we have a look at Friday, it's going to warm up just a little bit more to high of 63. It's going to be some calm winds, but mostly sunny outside. On Saturday, it's going to warm up even more to a high of 66 degrees. It's going to be real nice again. If we have a look at Sunday, it's going to cool down just a little bit to high of 62, but sunny outside and a real beautiful day. It's going to be real nice to be outside this weekend. On Monday, we're going to warm up to a high of 70 degrees, and it's going to continue to get on warmer through the week. Make sure you get your homework done this weekend because you're not going to want to do anything on Monday except be outside. I'm meteorologist Russell Bird. Back to you guys in the studio.
The king comes to the capital city.
And new changes in the marching band's policies.
All that and more up next on Buckeye News Now.
After making headlines across the sports world this summer, basketball royalty came to Ohio State on Monday as King LeBron James led the Cleveland Cavaliers in a matchup against the Chicago Bulls. I stood courtside at the Shot to see how fans reacted to LeBron's return.
The Schottenstein Center served as the home court for the Cleveland Cavaliers as they faced off against the Chicago Bulls, and fans showed up to welcome back LeBron.
So happy he's home. I went to a lot of Cavs games before when he played for them, and so I'm so happy he's back on the Cavs, and I can't wait to see him play.
It has been over 4 years since LeBron made his infamous decision to take his talents to South Beach, and some fans did not take that news lightly.
I was really mad. He did it in a way that I think made a lot of people mad.
I cried. Yeah, like 21-year-old kid crying.
Even though some fans were left emotional, not all of them took matches to their number 23 gear.
Luckily, I didn't burn it. I just put it in the back of my closet. So it was either this or the Kevin Love one I just bought, and had to rock LeBron for the first time. I wore my Kevin Love one in Cleveland.
But this past summer, when LeBron announced he was coming home, some fans' sorrow turned into thrill.
I'm so happy that he's back, and I think it's going to be a great season.
Even though Cavalier fans remained loyal during LeBron's absence, the support might be a little higher with his return, as well as the addition of former Minnesota Timberwolves player Kevin Love.
Our fans have been very loyal over all of these years, but there's definitely a lot more energy going on this year. I think people have very big expectations, and our goal from a fan experience perspective is just to make sure we hit it every time and give fans a great show every time they come out to cheer.
The Cavs' appearance at Ohio State is just one of many in a tour around universities within the state as part of their All for Ohio initiative.
We're really making a big effort to get around the state. We're here in Columbus today. We're at Xavier in Cincinnati just a few days ago, and the energy has really been strong. Fans across the state, we want them to know that we're all Cavaliers, and we hope everybody can be a big part of the team this year.
At the end of the fourth quarter, the Cavs were victorious over the Bulls with a final score of 107-98. Reporting for Lantern TV, I'm Ariana Bernard.
Following the controversy surrounding the supposed sexualized culture in Ohio State's marching band and the firing of former director Jonathan Waters, the university has begun designating specific changing rooms for marching band members. Students are instructed not to socialize in their fellow band members' hotel rooms as well. Under the new policy change, membership in the band for both playing members and student support staff is limited to 5 years, and the directing staff has the right to suspend, dismiss, or replace band members for poor performance or improper behavior. The university provided this information in its first quarterly update to the U.S. Department of Education. The pact ended a federal investigation into Ohio State's handling of sexual abuse cases.
Ohio State turns its focus to the Penn State Nittany Lions this Saturday as they travel to State College for the weekend. Head coach Urban Meyer spoke to the media this Wednesday, and as always, our assistant sports director Aaron Urian brings you the latest on the upcoming game.
Coach Urban Meyer and the Ohio State Buckeyes are looking to ride a wave of momentum into Saturday's primetime lineup against Penn State at Beaver Stadium. 3 things to look forward to in the game are how they deal with a hostile environment, JT and the offense's continued improvement, and winning the battle right here at the line of scrimmage.
This is one of those ones that's, one of those top 10 in the country, top 5, really top 5 in the country places, so it's hard to get ready for this one. But we've had some good practices, and the one thing about our setup out here, we can get some noise pumped in pretty good. Larry, and I've heard that Penn State considers Ohio State their rival. Obviously, we have one, but this is, I think it's a little bit like when we played Wisconsin a couple years ago. Is that really right? It's a rivalry because they're really good teams, and over the last probably 15 years, I don't know the record, but those have been some great games. So we consider them an elite program, and it's going to be a tough game.
I'm really excited. I've been talking to everybody all year about Penn State is supposed to be the craziest environment. We play in front of 108,000 people every weekend, so it kind of sucks when we go away and they don't have an environment like that. So I'm pretty excited.
We prepared for it. We see that every time we play at home. It's going to be different because they're going to be pretty loud, like they were when we played them in the 12th season. And we prepared for that during practice. We've had crowd noise out there. You know, we've gone on silent count on offense, and you know, we've done really well with that, and we're going to go in prepared, and we're going to be ready for it. Honestly, you know, as a player, you know, you're so locked in the game, you kind of block all that out. But you know, if you're not focused, you can get easily distracted by it. But you know, this is a really focused team, and I don't think we're going to have any issue with that.
Basically, just don't let the crowd get to you. You know what I'm saying? You just keep playing, and as the game rolls along and it starts to go our way, then you'll see it just like any other game.
We've gotten better each game, but we still have, you know, a lot to get better at. And like we got the message today from Coach Meyer is, you know, how complacency is a killer. You know, so we're not gonna get complacent. We're gonna keep getting better, and you know, never be satisfied. Always be hungry.
Oh, I don't know if there was a moment. I just see the gradual process that goes on there and the maturity of a quarterback, and you know, him getting hit as many times as he did against Virginia Tech and kept getting up and going. That was when he started to earn my respect. And there are no excuses made, and everybody could have done better, including the coaches, and he just kept going.
Saturday's kickoff is scheduled for 8 p.m. Until next time, for Lantern TV, I'm Aaron Yerian.
That's all we have for you this week on Buckeye News Now.
Remember to like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram and Twitter.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next week.